show. If you like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also follow us on our social media channels. You can see in the description below the ways that you can connect with us. And if you've already done that, thank you so much. You can also find us on the audio side, to wherever you get your shows and podcasts. Make sure to subscribe to us there as well. Give us a 5-star, leave a rate and review. All of that is going to help the channel grow. So we appreciate you so much.
Yes. Okay, Edgar Berlanga versus Hamzah Sheeraz. Now, okay, the odds for this are a different story. We're gonna go through this quick because we both want to get to Alberto Puello and Subriel Matias. Believe me.
And you guys, David Morrell's on this card too. Just want to say,
by the way,
this card is crazy.
Like, as an aside, here we go. Sheeraz is the favorite at minus 130. This hasn't moved from when I checked a few days ago. Edgar Berlanga plus 104. I did see this actually be 50-50 2 weeks ago, not last week, at a different book. So this could be a fight where, and there have been fights in the past where they were so close, where like this happened with Rayo Valenzuela and Gary Antoine Russell. One book had Gary Antoine Russell as the favorite, another had Valenzuela as the favorite, and another had them both even money, just even. Like like 115 in both directions. So like this sometimes happens, but here specifically, Berlanga by TKO or knockout plus 250, Hamzah Sheeraz by points plus 185, by knockout plus 300, points for Berlanga plus 320, draw plus 1500. We got a comment about this earlier saying from Orca, shout out to Orca, welcome. They will for sure rob Berlanga if he doesn't stop Sheeraz. Not gonna lie. Shantelle, do you think if Edgar Berlanga wins, you think it could only be by knockout in this fight?
No, I don't. I think Berlanga could also win on points. And I only say that because I think Berlanga has gotten a little bit better. And I do think he still has the power. I think it's just going to be a tough fight. Here's the thing. We don't really know how good Hamzah Sheeraz is, to be honest with you. Right? He's fought a lot of, Euro level fighters, and it's like we've seen it before in history. Sometimes these guys come out, to America and get exposed, or vice versa. Americans go over there and expose them. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but Sheeraz has had some underwhelming performances. Right. And against a guy like Edgar Berlanga, I want to see how safe he's going to play. But Sheeraz also has power. He is very skilled. And I want to see how real that is. I think this is a very tough test for a guy like Edgar Berlanga. But at the same time, like, I think Berlanga really, really wants this one. Because here's the thing. If Berlanga is able to beat Sheeraz, we're going to be talking about him a little bit more. I think his star grows a little bit bigger. This is a tough fight for him, though. But it's like, I'm not sold on Sheeraz, if that makes any sense. Do you think the only way Berlanga can win is by knockout?
I think so. I don't know if he's going to win that many rounds. I'll give Edgar Berlanga credit. Like, he has gotten legitimately better. I'm not saying he's like great, because as somebody who even covered him here, like early, I've referenced La Cultura documentary we did on Puerto Rican boxing, and we followed Zachary Ochoa, Matthew Gonzalez, and Edgar Berlanga. This was in 2018. We got awards from it. Some of them are behind me, as a matter of fact, from film festivals and shit. And Edgar Berlanga was like one of the central members of that. So he was 8-0 at the time. And this before he fought. He was fighting on Evander Holyfield cards before Top Rank. So around that time is when I started seeing like, oh, like he has some serious power, but it's like, all right, is he going to round out? And I think the knockout streak ended up working kind of against him, because he would get these first round knockouts all the time. And then when it was finally time for him to get rounds, like he wasn't really ready for it. I think he's shown some improvements, particularly in his last couple fights. But to toss it back to Sheeraz real quick, the Adames one, I think he flat out lost, and he got a favorable draw. One judge had it 118 to 110 for Adames. I didn't have it that wide, if I recall correctly, but I remember having it at least 116, 112 for Adames, something along those lines. And we all knew that there was some shit going on there. And to be honest with you, like, I just don't see how this was a draw. Now, before that, you mentioned like other performances. Like Tyler Denny was impressive, but also like that's a fight that you should take care of. Ammo Williams, I think, was sort of the breakout performance for me. But I was never like super high on Ammo Williams. Like when Troy Isley told us 2 years ago that he wanted to fight Ammo Williams, we were both kind of like, we think he could beat Ammo Williams. You know what I mean? So maybe that's a fight we actually do get at some point. Liam Williams before that, like he's had some great like early stoppages, but against competition that's like, fine. Not that Edgar Berlanga has like a tremendous resume either. Like he has the Canelo fight and he's acting like he won the fight ever since. But like if you're just looking at it, like and this last fight Edgar Berlanga had was like not we don't even need to talk about it because like that's an opponent that should not have been there. But like the Canelo Alvarez fight, I thought he got some rounds. And then Pradris McCrory is where I actually saw like, oh, okay, like he is putting more of an emphasis on his boxing, so to speak. Now I would like to see him get tested. And I think in this fight, Shiraz is going to box like from the outside as he should. And he's going to try to use his length and his jab and his reach. And I want to see how Berlanga sort of closes the gap. Like, is he going to follow him around? Because I'm a little bit nervous about that. Is he going to just follow him around and not really cut off the ring well? Like, how is he going to get to his combinations? How is he going to get to his body shots? So it's a fascinating fight. And I think it being 50-50 is fair because I have a lot of questions about each guy. And I don't feel confident in backing a winner in this fight at all, to be honest.
I don't either. And I also don't feel good about the fight going the distance because Berlanga has, we've heard he's chinny a little bit. We've seen him get dropped before. For a Hamzah Sheeraz, it's like I need to see more, and I need to learn more about him. And I think we'll learn more about him in this fight. I'm not betting on this fight, Brian, because I just don't know how it's going to go.
I don't think I am either.
And if that's lame for you guys, drop it in the comments. Let us know how you're betting the fight because I don't want to waste my money on this fight. I don't know how it's going to go. And so it's one of the fights I'm not betting on because I think we've seen a sample size from a guy like Sheeraz, and then we've seen Edgar Berlanga, and it's like we don't know what Edgar Berlanga were getting after that Canelo fight. So this is a tough fight. I think it's going to be very interesting. And hey, if Sheeraz ends up knocking out Berlanga, that's going to make headlines. If Berlanga ends up knocking out Sheeraz, that's going to make headlines. If it goes the distance and Sheeraz wins, I don't think anyone will be surprised.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to say Berlanga has to win by knockout, but
he should win. It's in his backyard.
Yeah. And look, he could like he has power. I mean, so does Shiraz, but
yeah,
like
that's the thing.
Shiraz is also moving up in weight.
Yeah.
Remember, Adames was for a middleweight title. So Edgar Berlanga, like he's been a true super middleweight for a long, long time. But as you mentioned, Chinny, like he got dropped in the amateurs. Bad. I showed you the video, like bad.
You guys, I want to ask this. I want to ask this because Orica, by the way, thanks so much for joining us this evening. Says Sheeraz has been dropped too. And then Foxy says,
that's right. What fight was that Sheeraz got dropped? I was looking for that.
Okay, look for it while I read this comment by Foxy. Berlanga is overhyped to me, thinking he's a star because he lost to Canelo. Also, Sheeraz with Andy Lee now. I'm expecting to see a big performance from him. What was the fight where he got dropped? Who dropped?
It's here. Francisco Emmanuel Torres. Shiraz dropped once in round 3. I did watch this back at some
You guys, point. Okay, I want to ask this to you,
3
Brian.
Years ago.
And then I want to ask this to the chat as well. We're going to need your comments for this, guys. Who has more of the devastating power? I think it's Berlanga.
I think so too. I think at this weight, at least. Yeah. Like all of the dude, the real impressive win on his resume, if you want to give him one, is Ammo Williams. Other than that, like Liam Williams is maybe up there, but like, what are we really talking about? And Carlos Adames, I thought outboxed him despite giving up a lot of height and reach, and just like it was a fight that athletically they picked him for a reason. We talked about this. Like they thought Shiraz was going to win this and he's going to be their champion and he's going to be someone that Turk gets behind and all these things. And he's telling them like, you're down, you got to do this or whatever. Like Adames got robbed and Adames should have won that fight. Like
I
I don't
think
know.
Turk even let Shiraz know that he was down in the fight, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we saw the video, so
Yeah. So, guys, let us know how you're going to be betting this fight. Let us know who you're rocking with. And remember, after the fights, guys, post-fight show. Now, we still got a little bit more to get to because
Foxy, you bring up a good point, by the way. Sorry,
what did Foxy say?
because he did mention like the Andy Lee piece that like that's not nothing. Like Andy Lee is one of them trainers who can make a difference. So eh, mm, he could have a game plan to really dismantle Edgar Berlanga. It's just a matter of can Shiraz follow it without getting caught.
But here's the thing, like with the Andy Lee piece is really, it's huge. But I'll say this: you're Edgar Berlanga, and I know I think it was Fox. You also said that Edgar Berlanga is overhyped. I'll say this though: I
Yes,
think he's great for boxing, and I've said this many times. I think he has a star power. Fat Joe going to be up in the building. Okay, I know it for sure. Okay, I don't know what Edgar Berlanga is going to come out to, but it's going to be something wavy. He's going
Tracy
to worry
Morgan.
about. It's going to be like 10 chains, 10 Cuban links on the neck. Like it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy business, and I'm all for it. Okay, I like the waviness. I will say this: Shiraz is coming into Berlanga's backyard. Berlanga's been on a tour after Canelo, popping that. You know what I mean? Like he like for him to lose this fight in New York City,
Yeah.
it's not a good look for him.
Mhm.
He can't act that way after. I feel like if Shiraz like schools him. So I think Berlanga is gonna have extra juice in the tank. Like Berlanga is not some guy that's just gonna roll over. Like he has this aura about him, and it's it's there. Like whether you like him or not. Personally, I think it's good for boxing. I don't think this is a layup for Shiraz. Regardless if people think that Shiraz is, more skilled than him, which I think could be fair. But I think Berlanga's gotten better. I don't think this is going to be an easy fight for Shiraz because he's also coming into Berlanga's backyard. That's
Yeah.
going to be a pro Berlanga crowd, dude. There's going to be Puerto Ricans everywhere.
Maybe.
Fat Joe's going to be there talking shit to him while he walks by
Yeah.
behind the scenes. Like, I'm
Uh,
telling you, it's not when here's the thing. This is the biggest fight Shiraz has ever been in.
yeah.
Lights, camera, action. How are you going to perform? How are you going
Yeah.
to perform this? This is your introduction to North America.
Yeah.
And you're in New York City. This is different, man. How do you handle that pressure? Like this is bigger than just you could be a great fighter. You could in the like when you're practicing, when you're going through your training camp, you could be feeling it. When you step in that ring and all the lights are on you and you're the main event and you're in someone else's backyard, how do you deal with that? And that's what we're going to find out because pressure is a real thing. Pressure is a real thing, guys. And he's never been in this situation. Berlanga, on the other hand, he's at home.
Especially in this sport. And it's like, it's funny. I actually trust Shiraz to be more disciplined, but I trust Berlanga's power more if he can land it. So we'll see how much of a factor Andy Lee is going to be in this. I I worry about Edgar Berlanga overhyping himself. You know what I mean? Like, is he going to be too confident? And
I
think like,
don't
oh,
think
I'm gonna just get to that one punch and don't worry about it. Like, is he gonna do enough good work setting up the jab, being responsible defensively, and all these different things? Like, I think the odds have this like down to a T. Like,
yeah.
if anyone should be a slight favorite, it should probably be Shiraz by a little bit, just because like the boxing ability, so to speak. But Berlanga could just pop his head off his shoulders like at any moment. So
We we
we'll
we
see.
just we just don't know. This is probably one of the most intriguing fights on that card. But
Yeah, of the
another
weekend,
yes.
of the
And
month, really.